What's up, guys? YGO Strats coming at you with some pretty big news. The April 1st, 2016 ban list for the OCG has been announced. They pretty much took the metagame and beat it to a pulp reminiscent of what they did to the metagame of the Duelist Alliance format with banning of towers and all that fun stuff. They just threw this all on its head, and we're going to get right into it. So again, OCG, this is not the TCG. It's not going to affect European or North American players. It's pretty much just Japan that is affected by this. And boy, are they affected by it. So starting things off, they've banned 3 cards. They've outright banned Perform Pal Monkey Board. Monkey Board was at 3. It is now banned there. Obviously, our lists are different. When they hit Pepe, they did not hit nearly as hard as they did with us. We, surprisingly, in the TCG, got Pepe hit harder, despite having it for less time. I guess Konami of America was just like, we're not doing it. We're not letting it do that. That's obnoxious. Which, you know, probably good for the metagame and very bad for a lot of people's wallets, but regardless, Monkey Board is banned in the OCG. Laval Chain is now banned, taking the path of the TCG from 2 ban lists ago, I believe it was. The April one, April 2015, and Life Equalizer. So pretty much what they've done is they've stopped Draco Pal's 1-card scale setup, and then really this can just be seen as FTK stopping the Laval and Life Equalizer. Life Equalizer in particular because Monarch FTK has been topping at events recently, and I keep hearing about people who go undefeated until they face this deck, which, you know, sucks to be the player who's facing Life Equalizer, and the person playing Life Equalizer, Monarch FTK, is just... You're one hell of a guy, Life Equalizer FTK, buddy. Monarch FTK, whatever. So, other new things, and like, look at how many cards there are, holy. Anyways, Sangan is back at 1 in the OCG. It's getting an errata, I'll read that at the end of the video, but Thousand Eyes Restrict is back at 1, so they're taking some things off the list, which is always nice, and in name of doing that, they clearly have to put 18 other things on the list. Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, the core and, you know, the spine of the Burning Abyss deck is now at 1. So Beatrice is at 3, but you get 1 Dante to use it. So you better spam those damn sirs to get Dante back, BA players of the OCG. Skarm is also at 1, so they hit the searching. This is what they do. Skull Crobat Joker went to 1. That was at 3 previously in their list. So clearly they're really just hitting Draco Pals. And even more so, they're hitting Blaster, Ignister Prominence, the synchro that everyone hates to face, non-targeted removal. Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer is at 1. That's at 3 here and keeps our deck alive. For them, it's now at 1. Draco Face Off, the thing that lets you get 2 out of the deck, and unfortunately is the engine that I've been using to replace in my Pendulum Magicians, is at 1 there, which does not bode well for us. Wavering Eyes goes to 1, no complaint there. A lot of people have said Wavering Eyes should be going to 1 anyways. It just, in a Pendulum mirror match of any sort, any Pendulum match, wow, such a good card. The 1 and 2 effects are fine. 3 is a little ridiculous. 4 just seals fates. No complaints there. Luster Pendulum is at 1 for them as well now. So literally just curb stomp, kicking its head into the curb. Draco Pals there, just no hope for them. Master Stage II is hit to 1, as if Heroes didn't have enough of a hurt in the OCG, because Shadow Mist is at 1 there. This is probably due to the fact that Burning Abyss is playing Dark Law, and Dark Law is just such a stupid card. So yeah, Mass Change 2nd at 1. Tour Guide hit to 1, more Burning Abyss hits. That's, I mean, you have to see that coming, in my opinion. You can't just let 3 pluses for Burning Abyss, more or less, especially with Skarm. Search the Tour Guide, just infinite Dantes. Although you've already hit Dante itself and Skarm, but whatever. Tour Guide's at 1 now. E-Telly's at 1. My comment on this, Emergency Teleport's at 1 in the OCG, where it's being used in things like Quantum Monarchs. I can promise you it's going to 1 in the TCG with Cosmo Monarchs. I mean, you've seen Super Quantum make tops now and then. I can think of at least 1 top, I guess I'll say. I know of at least 1, I think top 16 or top 8 maybe, that a Quantum deck had, and it definitely used Emergency Teleport, which means it's making an impact on the game. They're reprinting it in Premium Gold 3. I can see it being hit, especially in the TCG, and it is at 1 now in the OCG. They did hit Monarchs, they hit Domain and Pantheism. So their Field Spell and their Searching draw power, basically they hit their consistency and their Floodgate, their Lockdown Floodgate. So a little unfortunate in the terms of, I would have liked to keep Pantheism for the deck maybe, just because that deck bricks so much already with it at 3. At 1, it's just whatever. Either way, I don't care for the domain being hit. Like, I play Monarchs, but god damn. That's just a stupid card to be playing against. I have no complaints there. Pendulum Call hit to 1. I guess they figured they don't want Pendulum Magicians being too strong. The thing is, Insight Magician, which is Wisdom Eye Magician in the TCG, is already at 1 there, so they can't do double Wisdom Eye plays. Pendulum Call, I guess, is just a little more incentive to not do those shenanigans. Reasoning and Monster Gate are both hit to 1. I guess they just want to stop Infernoids from being a creeper deck. A lot of people are saying it's the sleeper of this format here in the TCG, Infernoids, but I can see it. They're still viable. They haven't been hitting anyways, but if this is anything, they might get hit. Reasoning is getting a reprint in Premium Gold, and I know that's not necessarily a reason that things are going to get hit. But that being said, you are seeing Reasoning played in Cosmo. You are seeing Reasoning played in at least one Super Quantum deck that did well, I believe, in ARG format, which I don't know the build that hopped in the YCS, but it's potential that it used Reasoning and the potential to be hit. Super Rejuvenation is the only card semi-limited. This pretty much says to me Dragon Rulers are not coming back for years. They're not going to bring this up and Dragon Rulers. It's not going to happen. So no hope of your title for your Mermail, no hope of your Redox for your Gadget Machinas. Just unfortunately, your Dragon Rulers are forever dead, and this is what says that most clearly to me. They have unlimited things as well, and that's almost as ridiculous as the hits that you just heard listed off, if you can believe that. Glow Up Bulb is at 3. That makes no difference. It's a once per duel effect, so whatever. Put it at 3 or 1. Only going to be playing 1. Curry Bandit is at 3. That's really nice for probably Burning Abyss. Just get some shit in the graveyard faster. It's just a good thing to have at 3 nowadays. Destiny Hero Malicious. The Dark deck is back. 3 Armageddon and 3 Malicious, 3 Plague Spreader, just pull off that shenanigans. Mermail Abystius is at 3 again, that's very nice. I believe the OCG had that at 1. It might have been bumped up to 2 at the last list, not 100% sure on that. But Abystius is the level 7 that's discard 1 and then search a Mermail. Definitely just a great searching for the deck. I know their Deep Sea Diva just recently went to 1 in the OCG, so they need to make up for that in that sense. Mind Control and Book of Moon are at 3 now. They were bumped to 2 last list. That can be pretty shenanigans, in my opinion. Book of Moon is a great disruptor card. It's very versatile. I do have a single card discussion on it where I talk about all the different things you can do. Hashtag self-promotion. Anyways, Book of Moon is definitely a solid card, and being at 3 could leave an impact, depending. I mean, it's definitely much faster format than when Book of Moon was hit to 1. That was like, I think, a decade ago. Don't hold me to that, though. It was a long time ago that Book of Moon went to 1, though. Gold Sark is at 3. Just pretty much bringing up all this stuff from Dragon Rulers. Cosmo might like that if we get that. I mean, it'll be a lot slower, but depending on the hits we get, if we get that, it might be solid. I don't know, especially with Cosmo Town, which is another thing that could be it. Different video. Allure of Darkness is at 3. That says a lot to me. Allure of Darkness, you should know what it is, but if you don't, it's the draw power card of the Teledad era. Draw 2, then banish a dark. If not, banish your entire hand. I don't know if I want that in the TCG. At a 1, it puts in enough work, I find, but I can think like, Raid Raptors or Burning Abyss, just spamming the draw power. Yes, you have to banish to use it, but like that +2, and especially something like Cosmo. If it goes to 3 in the TCG or even to 2, I'm probably going to try it in Cosmo just because you can banish Dark Destroyer and get Dark Destroyer back. Who gives a shit? Cosmo Town might be hit though. 2 other cards that have been bumped up to 3. Dragon Shrine, which is the Foolish Burial for dragons, and Card Crush Fire. So like I said, it seems like they're just bringing back all the stuff that they killed with Dragon Rulers. Dragon Shrine obviously boosts Blue Eyes decks as well, potentially. It can Foolish Burial Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and then, White Stone to search another Blue Eyes into your hand. So there's definitely work that can be put in that sense. And Card Crush Virus, arguably another boost to BA. I don't see anyone running 3 of it, but maybe I'm an idiot. Who knows? Definitely just up at 3 because no one's really using it at 1 too much other than Burning Abyss, particularly in this meta. I could see Shadow using it maybe, but Shadow isn't making a big impact on the metagame, so hard to say whether or not that'll have any real impact. It's just not enough dark decks. That being said, with Allure of Darkness at 3 and Destiny Hero Malicious at 3, Card Crush Virus might see a bit more play. It's a little in the air at this point. We'll see moving forward whether or not that's a good idea, and if even the TCG will bring it here, because it's just not something I see them doing personally. And rounding this video off is Sangan. He has an errata. It hinders him a bit, but not horrendously. So you can only use the effect of Sangan once per turn. So no more multiple Sangans in one turn by bringing it back and that sort of thing. Alright, I don't think that was too much of a problem, but what do I know anyways. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add one monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. If you add a monster to your hand by this effect, you cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name during that turn. So if you search out a Luster Pendulum, well, you can't, it's 1850, so if you were to search out a Graph, per se, because it's a level 3 Fiend, and, you know, that makes sense. Graph has 1500 attack, so if you search out Graph, you can't discard Graph and special summon a Burning Abyss from the deck. I wonder if that has anything to do with Burning Abyss, because I just feel that Burning Abyss kind of hinders design in that sense with graveyard effects. You know, Burning Abyss is always going to be able to be a deck that's able to pay for any sort of cost that involves discarding or sending to the graveyard, because they plus off that no matter what. That's its own thing. Again, a lot of their own things going on in this video, apparently. The point is, Hengen now has an errata, so it's a little less effective, only once per turn, and you can't use the effects of any monster that you search. And you are definitely not searching a Beat Stick out when it has 1500 or less attack. So, you know, slows it down. But if it, you know, you play that classic Hengen play of set it, and then they destroy it with battle, and you search, and then the next turn you can go off. But probably, in my opinion, added just to hinder Burning Abyss. That's my 2 cents on that. If you think of another reason that's more obvious than I'm just forgetting, absolutely throw that at me. Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. I love learning as much as I love sharing information. But yeah, that is the list. This list has killed Burning Abyss in the meta dominance. It's definitely killed Draco Pals in terms of meta dominance. Really smacked down Monarchs a bit with that Pantheism hit more than anything, and Domain. Just 4 cards are lost, but man, those are 4 important cards. Pendulum Call hit the Magicians, and you've even hit things like Infernoids with this. So it's a lot of big changes are going to be coming to OCG's meta. A lot of the big decks are dead. Mermail Atlantean is still pretty hurting with one Deep Sea Diva as far as I know. I'm just trying to think of what could come up. If they get Cosmo soon, I'm sure that'll wreak havoc. That'll be their tier 1 for a little bit. Even if E-Telly's at 1, like, it'll still do damage, I'm sure. If I had to guess, DDD, Different Dimension Demons or whatever they are, they got a structure deck. They'll probably be doing solid in tournaments just because of the lack of competition. Blue Eyes is definitely getting support, and they'll be putting in work if you were to ask me. You might see a resurgence of things like Madolche or, you know, Magispectors, that sort of thing. They're not, you know, the best decks, but until we get the new sets with the really good cards coming out, it's a power gap. It's reminiscent of when, I can't remember exactly when it was. I think it was right after Dragon Rulers were hit, or right before Dragon Rulers dropped. I'm not sure, but there were a lot of decks you'd see running around. Like Quasar was a deck back then. It wasn't triple Quasar, as far as I know. Like sometimes it was 2 Quasars, but it pretty much just Turbo Quasar. You saw gadget decks being played right before the Hat era, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on my dates, but it's pretty much, there's a power vacuum, and it's very, there's a lot of competition to fill it. My guess is you're going to see those decks. You know, Magispector's going to do solid enough. Blue Eyes could do solid enough. DDD can do solid enough. Just a lot of pockets, a lot of, you know, lower level decks that could be roguish in terms of power if they were to just get the representation. Could now come up and fill your more top tiers just because the top tiers are dead. And that's my 2 cents. I'm guessing Magispector, DDD, Madolche is popular. Hero will still be played in the OCG. They have such a hard-on for it. That's the only way to describe it. They have such a hard-on for it. But that's my 2 cents. Oh, and Blackwing. They're getting enough support. They're getting the diarrhea dumping support on the player base is what Konami's doing with Blackwings. Also, actually, Destiny Hero could be getting support because the Destiny Hero guy is going to be in the show or something, I heard. Anyways, forget about it. There's a lot of decks that can come up and be prominent, so go ahead. Let me know what you think could step into power in the OCG. Let me know what you think about this list. Let me know if you think we're going to get something similar, if we're just going to get another massacre, like 2 lists in a row. Who knows? Absolutely, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All that fun stuff. We got more content coming out soon. Thank you for watching. This is YGO Strats, and we'll see you next time.